And today we will talk about the basics about Xertified and XoT Technology. There is an agenda for this meeting, and it has been shared to you. I hope this will answer any questions that you have about Xertified, why, how, and what Xertified and the XoT Technology is. We will also have two demos where we will see the hide and protect and the remote access mode of the product. The questions that you send in will be answered in the end, where we have a quite extensive Q&A session for answering any question that you might have. And also, if there is a question that fits very good into the agenda, I will probably bring that up during the session, and then save the others for the end. With that said, I would like to introduce Rickard. Rickard is the product manager for the XoT Technology product, and he is also the number one demo instructor and trainer in Xertified. So if the demo monster is here, the demo monster will be tackled by a professional, solving everything at once, I guess. Now, Rickard is also a technical pre-sale. So with extensive knowledge about both the XoT technology and networks, he can help you out with almost any high level or detailed level network design that you can think of. Either that be IT or OT networks, you just go to Rickard. My name is Jens Hammarlund, and I'm Director of Operations. That means that I will take care of you when you and my team, when you contact me or my team at the support@xertified.com, or call us through the support phone line. Either that, or you might have a delivery project where we implement the solution at your organization. Then you will work with me and my team. Also, shipping of software and hardware is also in the operations team. The Xertified company, we have a vision. It's a flourishing world where society and industry stay safe from cyber threats. And this is a vision that is set because we think society and industries are the pillar of creation of welfare for people around the world. So we try to use our expertise to help that to stay in that way and to make the world flourish. And with that vision, we're also out on a mission. This mission is to help manage devices access with ease. So we basically set out to help out with cyber threats with using our unique expertise, which is the device access, and also products that are easy to use, which are designed with the ease to use in mind. Trying to change the slide here. And all of that, it comes from the founders of the Xertified company, where they came out of an industry where smart cards and identities for people, humans, were in the focus. So you can think of smart cards as those cards that they're using at the hospital in order to authenticate into their end user clients and so on. What if we could use that technology and instead implement it to devices, as in perhaps IoT devices, in sensors and cameras, in legacy systems that are not protected by patches any longer, and so on. Systems that are perhaps built not necessarily with security in mind, but with price and speed. Because in parallel to this question, the trend, and I guess you all are very much aware of how many new devices are coming online every day. And these devices are just such devices as I just mentioned. They come up online, they stay online, they stay for long, and they might even rot. What happens then? is there something that we can do to mitigate the problem where online devices that are weak in terms of security, that might even be vulnerable, to help them to protect themselves and their administrators, so that we get rid of problems like botnets or perhaps DDoS and so on. So with that in mind, we created these two product offerings, the Hide and Protect and the Remote Access. So Hide and Protect is basically where you protect your network from malicious usage and access. So since our expertise is in the access part, we start off with the access part with strong identities to combine that with access control. When combining those two parts together with encryption, you get a network that is hidden, where we can hide devices from unauthorized users, where the data communication is encrypted, and thereby the integrity and the confidentiality is protected from other users, and only the correct users can access those devices. And in the remote access, that's just like an add-on. You might be working from your office, you might be working from home, or you might be working from abroad. It doesn't really matter to us. It's just a matter of establishing a connection through a network or many networks. And our technology makes no difference really if you're on the network or if you're on other sites or other networks. So those two offerings, they give us a whole portfolio of different use cases, of things that we can enable for you or an end customer. And the very most common thing that I hear of every day is that there is someone who has a machine or a device of some kind, and it needs some service organization that is a third party to access this device on remote to be able to do diagnostics. And this might be something that you already think are certainly several solutions out there, but I would say that our solution gives some unique aspects to this, and we will see in the demo what that might be. We can also say that adding our Hide and Protect solution to network, you could think of this as adding an extra layer to the security onion to give yourself a little bit more peace of mind when there is a end of life statement to equipment that you already have. There might be something that you cannot patch. Might be an instrument or a device that has been very expensive to the organization, and that you really need for your production line. You cannot really take it out. It's critical, perhaps. And then, what if that product goes out of support or out of life? There won't be any more patches, and thereby you know that you can't patch it for new vulnerabilities that almost certainly will arise later on. So using our Hide and Protect product can add that extra layer of protection, giving you a little bit more peace of mind while you figure out how to patch that kind of equipment or build around it. And the next thing that we usually hear about is just the patching, let's say, headache, where there are new vulnerabilities and CVEs arriving in your inbox every day, and you just need to do this immediately because there is something that is super critical right now that you need to fix. Adding our solution on top will will help you to create a little bit of time to shield off this vulnerability and letting you to handle this vulnerability in a more in a way that you can manage the time for patching better. So some unique aspects from our solution that we at least think are a differential aspects from other vendors is that we try to achieve very quick and swift installations. The technology has been designed so that it can be a drop-in solution. So you just add it on top of what you already have. You don't need to break the full network or the systems in use. It's convenient, easy, and also the knowledge to install and configure should not be. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to follow the guides, and the guides are written in easy language. And one example of this would be the enrollment of the lock that are where we're using QR codes, for instance, which you scan with your camera. An example of how we make it easy for the user to utilize our products. And as I said, it's a drop-in solution where we can integrate with already existing systems. And in the end, we make access control easy. We will come back to this word easy many times since we think this is a differentiator in the cybersecurity industry. How is XoT technology different, and how is Xertified different from other vendors? Well, first off, it's quite obvious that we do all our development work. We have all our support teams, we have the production, and we have our sales all in Sweden. All employees are Swedish citizens, and we don't have any consultants or outsource. We buy all our components for hardware from Taiwan and South Korea, and we don't buy anything from China or USA. In order to control our supply chain. Now that might have someone might have been thought that was funny times ago, but nowadays we think this is a true differentiator for Xertified, where we get a lot of attention for this fact. And also, we try to keep our products easy to use, because if they're easy to use, they get used. If you know as well as I do, as soon as you introduce cybersecurity controls or solutions that are just a little bit tricky to use, then the user will do other things. They will work around it. You might seen these pictures before, and here it is again. A security control implemented where there are plenty of ways to go around it. I hope this is not the case for you. I'm pretty sure of course, it's not, because you're all cybersecurity experts from what I've seen in the invite list. But you are probably well familiar to this fact. Might it be shadow IT? Might it be easy guessed passwords, or leaving the smart card in the smart card reader? There are plenty of examples. So you probably know, just as I do, to make this to make this happen and have a secure solution, you have to make the security control really easy and the default way for users to use the systems.
All right, so I thought we'd just start out with looking at just a typical threat and what that can look like. It's nothing very advanced, but it's a way to show you how we can use our product. So if we look at a network like this, It's, I'll explain it to you. So it's a segmented network. In this case, we're using cameras. We've got a PLC, we've got a pump that they're located on a segment inside a site. Now, um, I have all these types of devices here doesn't mean that you can't use or protect any other devices as long as they're IP based. This is going to be the same type of scenario as long as they're IP based. So a lot of networks out there are segmented. Now, that's great. And segments, you should segment your network into different security zones with firewalls, etc. Depending how large those segments are, you can still be exposed to threats. In this example, I have a hacker on the left-hand side here, which and this person is constructing a phishing email, sending that out, of course, and the IT consultant in this case, this could be an employee, of course. It can be anybody who has access uh, to the network and you're going to see why. But it clicks it, gets an infected PC, and then brings that PC into the network and plugs it into the segment. And well, then you're sort of bypassed the firewalls, right? So by doing this, it doesn't matter if you have two firewalls, three firewalls, or different segments, etc. You still have access into that segment right there. If you have a network access control like 802.1x, uh, that could help a little bit, but you're still just protecting the network. As soon as you're inside the network, you probably have a broad access. So what happens here is that this person might come in here to do some programming, let's say help out with something. In this case, it's just doing some work on this PLC, but at the same time, this virus is scanning the network, scanning that entire segment, finds a device that seems vulnerable, and infects that device. And from there, of course, this device could infect other devices on the segment, or we can just, or the virus can simply break that device so it doesn't work anymore. So it's a simple, kind of a simple way of explaining how you can easily, unfortunately, bypass a lot of the security measures that you have around your network in the perimeter. Uh, sorry about that. Okay, so that's the essence of what we're trying to do here. So what can we do to mitigate this? Let's see. I think I have some. Let's do this. So mitigating this with our devices, we can use our what we call a lock. So these devices that you just saw here, the black and yellow devices are what we call locks. We put them in line with the Ethernet cable and we put them in front of a single device or in front of many devices. Okay? Um, so this will, in this case, it will hide that asset. So this is the hide and protect that we say, that we call this mode of operation, hide and protect. It's not really a mode of operation per se, but this is effectively, this is what we're doing here. We're protecting that device, we're hiding it. So if somebody comes in and tries to scan the network, I think I have some issues with apologies here. There should be a little laptop here or something that is scanning the network. Um, it effectively prevents the scanning of this network. So the scanner will not see any devices. They will be completely hidden from being probed for vulnerabilities. So what have we done here? We've actually just protected everything that we have in the network. When deploying these devices, you can keep the same IP of them. So if this had a specific IP address beforehand, it can just keep that same IP address. And it doesn't matter if it's one or two or 10 or 20 devices behind here. It still can keep that same IP address if you want to. So we'd like to see that you do a one-on-one protection here, and you're going to see why, because it's granular, right? So if you were to access a device where like one of these cameras, of course, and it's behind one of our locks, it's hard for us to mitigate any lateral movement. But we certainly support one-on-one systems, which is actually a patent that we have in Europe. And we support protecting many devices. So both of those. And you can retain the same IP as the device did have beforehand, or you can set up VLANs or subnets, etc., on that right-hand side if you want to. Uh, so the idea here is to install a protection without touching that end device. So there are some other segmentation systems on the on the market, of course, that work by installing software on that end device. But many times you can't do that because they're old, they just don't support it. You just can't do that. So we don't have to touch that device to protect it. So that's the idea here. But then, of course, now we've blocked access to this device. Now we have to permit access as well. Because we can't just have them not being accessible. We might as well just pull out the cable. But the idea here is to block any unauthorized access and give access to anybody who should have access, of course. So the example here, a consultant that's inside the network has a piece of software installed. This is our software that's installed on the laptop in this case. He has a unique digital identity, and this device also has a unique digital identity. Now, with digital identities on both sides, we can easily create very secure access control. So that's what we can do here. We can let that consultant only access that specific system that he should access. Now, interestingly enough, as Jens mentioned, you can sit anywhere if you want to. It's all about the policy. So you can say that for a consultant or an employee to access this PLC, they have to be on the same segment. They have to be inside the network. That's possible. You can also say that, but if you're part of a certain group or you're just a specific person, you can access it from anywhere in the world, actually. So you can sit at home, you can sit in Asia, in the US. It doesn't really matter because the type of access that we provide is the same, and it looks the same even when you move around. So one day you can be on the local network, and one day you can be outside of the network. You can have that same access if you want to, if you want to permit that. And of course, this is what we call remote access. So remote access would be accessing something from somewhere else. And usually that might be, again, home workers, employees, but also many times it's the third party vendor that wants to get access into the network. So access from anywhere. And of course, when we set this up, you're going to see that we provide a digital identity again for the person and for this system in here, so we know which ones they are. And then that doesn't mean that they have access to anything. We have to set up a policy, and a policy is denied by default. So if there's no policy, there's nothing, right? So it's a least privilege system. And you can assign these policies either like a one-off, so you can say that, well, this IT consultant should be able to access this PLC on Friday between 3 and 5 p.m. Or you can do I thought I had that, or recurring. You can do it as a recurring, so saying that either 3 weeks from now and then they automatically get kicked out, or every Monday, or every day between 9 and 5, or something like that. So we have all these time-based functions as well for the policies to be able to do that much more easily. One example is that when you set up policies that are not permanent, because of course you can set up permanent policies also, but if you set up something that's not permanent, you usually want to put a timer on it. So you want to say that this policy will automatically expire within a certain amount of time, so you don't forget about it. right? So it's not there, and people have access that shouldn't have access. Months go by, and you accidentally forget to delete the policy again or deactivate it. So this is users accessing the PLC or one or more of these systems. So if this user can have a policy so they can access all of these systems at the same time as well. So it's not just one system at a time. You can access 2, 3, 10, 20, 100 systems at the same time as well, depending on the policy again. Now, from a user to the system is one thing, but sometimes, or perhaps many times, the actual devices need to be communicating outwards as well. So we can allow encrypted traffic going from one of our systems here out to some other system. Either encrypted onto, let's say it's a cloud it's a cloud system that they need to access, like a video server or a log server, or if they just need to access something on the local LAN. So that's possible too. So we have a lot of possibilities with setting permissions for these devices to access going outwards as well. Obviously, that's important. And that being said, we can do some other machine-to-machine things here, where we can create microsegments. So if you look at the scenario where we have one device behind each device, we have a very granular policy system where we can say that a certain user can access a certain system, but also that two systems can access each other. So even if this were to be one single segment or one single IP subnet, you can still do your segmentation like this. So you don't have to segment on IP subnets or VLANs. You can just say that, hey, you know what? I want these two to be able to talk to each other with policy, and then they can start talking to each other, which makes it very flexible and very simple to create these little islands of devices that can speak to each other. So the basis of this again is the hide and protect. We put put our locks in front of the devices. They have a digital identity, and so do the users, and we allow access to them, whether that be locally, machine to machine, or remote access. It's the same, they are the same devices.